Hi, friends, brothers, and sisters. Welcome to Pathways of Hope, a daily reflection on the gospel and the hope that it brings to us in these times. My name is Ted, and I'll be sharing some reflections on the gospel for today. Today is December 19, 2020, Saturday, and the gospel for today is taken from Luke chapter 1, verses 5 to 25. In today's gospel, we hear about how God keeps promises in the story of Zechariah's encounter with the angel Gabriel. We know that Zechariah was Elizabeth's husband, and in the first few verses of today's gospel, we are introduced to both of them by their lineage. In Jewish culture, this was a very important thing, and so we learn that Zechariah was a priest of the division of Abi'jah, and Elizabeth was a daughter of Aaron. We are also told that they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord, blameless. Yet we are told that they were childless, for Elizabeth was barren, and they were both advanced in years. This is a significant description of who they were. In Jewish culture, being barren would imply a curse, a punishment from God. But we are told that both Elizabeth and Zechariah were righteous and blameless, so Elizabeth's barrenness could not be seen as a punishment. We also learn that Zechariah and Elizabeth had been praying for a child, because the angel greets Zechariah in this way: "Do not be afraid, for your prayer is heard, and your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall call his name John." Even as it may have seemed that God wasn't listening to Zechariah and Elizabeth's prayer, it became clear that not only was God listening, He had a plan, and He had a plan far greater than what Zechariah and Elizabeth could ever imagine. Not only would they bear a son against all physical odds, but their son would be the one who would point to the Messiah. In the same way that the couple were described as righteous and blameless, their son John was foretold to be great before the Lord. Imagine someone telling you that not only would your prayers be answered, but that they would be answered not only in the way that you have been praying for them, but something far, far greater. And Zechariah reacts as we probably would have in his situation. He is unable to process and comprehend the greatness of God's plan as announced to him by the angel. And in his humanity, he expresses both fear and doubt. "How shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife is advanced in years." The angel responds by striking him dumbfounded, but with yet another promise, that Zechariah's speech would return when the promise of God is fulfilled. And we know that this is what happens, because when John is born, it is Zechariah who confirms that the name of his son is John. The reward of a righteous and blameless life, a holy life, is fruitfulness. Yet it is not fruitfulness according to our timetable, according to our schedule, according to our plan. It is fruitfulness according to God's plan and perfect timing. And God chose Zechariah and Elizabeth to show us that for those whom He sets apart, He has a plan that is marvelous, but He has a timing all His own. Zechariah's speechlessness is a reminder to us on how we should respond to the promises of God which have not yet come to pass. We wait, we anticipate, we expect, but not in fear or doubt, but in joy, in confidence, and in trust. Zechariah's response, unlike Mary's, was a response of doubt. Mary's response was a response in trust. This Advent, let us continue to reflect on God's nature as a promise-keeping God. In a few days, we will celebrate the fulfillment of that promise during the Incarnation. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in the land of deep darkness, on them has light shined. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. How have we been waiting for God's promises in our life? Have we been led to doubt because God's answer appears to be a no? Or have we been joyful, hopeful, and expectant because God's answer may be like his answer to Zechariah and Elizabeth, a not yet, just you wait? Have we been still in the confident expectation that we are always in the presence of our God, who is all good, all knowing, all powerful, all loving? Or have we been restless, unsettled, putting our own plans in place of God's promises to us? I pray for the grace to be able to wait expectantly and joyfully, in hope and in trust, for God's promises to be fulfilled in my life according to his plan and his perfect timing. I pray that you may be blessed with that same grace. If you have been made more hopeful by this short commentary, please do spread that hope by sharing this short reflection. This has been Pathways of Hope. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.